spent some time today at the Passaic County OEM, meeting with elected officials, first responders, people who've been on the front lines.
All right, if you're just joining us, Governor Christie is just holding a news conference right now about the situation in Wayne. Let's listen in.
Had an opportunity also to meet with Congressman Pascrell and Congressman Frelinghuysen and tour areas with them as well. I want to thank them both for being here and for their support. I know that the people of the communities that I visited today, Wayne and Fairfield, have dealt with something like this before, but this is the worst that any of them have seen. The numbers are worse than even back to 1984, which was the previous high point on record. So for members of these communities, don't listen, no jokes from you about helicopters. For members of these communities who have lost everything, relief cannot come soon enough for them. That's why I sent a letter last night at 6:45 to the President of the United States requesting an expedited declaration of a major disaster for the entire state of New Jersey from the federal government to assist state and local governments as well as individually affected residents to receive federal assistance as quickly as possible. I had an opportunity to speak to the President last night. He called on my way to my radio program and promised me that he would give this direct attention, especially to Secretary Napolitano, about expediting our request. I also have gotten support from Congressman Pascrell and Congressman Frelinghuysen on this score, and a number of other members of the congressional delegation I'm sure will be supporting us as well. Some of you traveled with me today. Some of the stuff that I saw and experienced is pretty incredible. In Wayne, in a neighborhood that has not regularly flooded before, I saw just extraordinary despair. A woman whose house we toured in just moved in December, excited about her new home, and everything on the first floor of her home is ruined. Spoke to other people on that street, all of whom are just devastated by what's happened to their homes. A home exploded on that street as well. That's being investigated now. These people are suffering extraordinarily. And then in Fairfield, as we drove through Fairfield, I've never seen flooding like that before in that area, and spoke to a lot of the first responders and other folks there, and they're just looking for help. 16 counties have established shelters during the course of this storm to house 16,000 evacuees, and this inland flooding will continue over the next 48 hours in places like Wayne and Pine Brook, Little Falls, and 20 homes in Fairfield near the river were completely submerged in at least 5 feet of water. Water damage far more than has been inflicted before, and we just can't fathom what these folks have been going through. The 1984 flood, just to give you a sense, the 1984 flood was at 12.9 feet. We are significantly higher than that now. Route 46, Route 23, we've been driving around the roads. The traffic is awful, although we have some good news to report on that front that will be immediately. I met the people of the Salvation Army Canteen. They've given out 1,700 meals a day to folks in the Fairfield area for people who are both sheltered and people who are non-sheltered. Community Food Bank in New Jersey brought a box truck today to deliver prepared food. And the Salvation Army has 2 field kitchens on reserve in Newark ready to provide another 27,000 meals to folks who are displaced. Water distribution sites have been established in Maplewood, at the community pool, and in West Orange at West Orange High School. Both bottled water and 3 1,300-gallon water buffaloes are being deployed between the 2 sites. The shelters are set up to assist those in need. As of this morning, a little bit over 1,300 folks were sheltered in different facilities throughout the state. And now we're in the process of evacuating Fairfield, Woodland Park, Totowa, Patterson, and Wayne. And that number will, of course, then increase. We're trying to keep these folks sheltered locally. There are 8 emergency shelters set up to assist those in need in Passaic County. But if there turns out to be an overflow, we have state-operated facilities at places like the Izod Center, which can be stood up on 4 hours' notice to make sure that anybody who needs a safe place to stay will have a safe place to stay. We give you some updates on the power situation in the state. At the height of the hurricane, 850,000 customers lost power in New Jersey. As of this afternoon, that's now down to 220,000. And so if you think about that, we're now at 5:30 or so. and we're only 48 hours or less away from the hurricane leaving, and we have restored over 600,000 customers. Utility companies are doing a good job. BPU President Solomon is doing a great job of staying on top of them, and so I'm hopeful that by Friday we'll have everybody in the state back on power in their homes. We're very concerned about two things in the fraud area, both price gouging and home repair scams for folks. You suspect anything like that, I need you to call the Division of Consumer Affairs. I want to give the media this hotline so they could please report it out to folks. 800-242-5846. That's 800-242-5846. That's the Consumer Affairs hotline. I need folks out in the community to report any type of home repair scams or any suspected price gouging immediately to Consumer Affairs. They will send investigators out right away and look into it and make sure that we advertise the folks who are scamming people and take whatever legal action we can take against them as well. On the transportation side, DOT crews are working around the clock under the direction of Commissioner Simpson. They've been doing an amazing job, and for any of you who may have seen the front page of the record today, saw that the northbound side of 287 collapsed. We have one lane on 287 north is now reopened. On the northbound side, reopened today at 5 p.m. That is an extraordinary job by the Department of Transportation to do that, and so we're now having traffic moving on 287 north. That will relieve some of the things we just saw on Route 80, so very, very good. As of 10 a.m. today, there are 36 statewide incidents of obstructions of partial or full travel restriction. That's down from 350 on Sunday. So we're down from 350 to 36. As of 10 a.m. today, there are 27 highway locations statewide involving full closures of all travel lanes. That's down from 282 on Sunday. So we are down to double digits now on these closures, and we're moving them really, really quickly. And the state DOT alone has removed 234 downed trees from state highways already since the storm left here at 4 o'clock on Sunday. So I want to congratulate the commissioner. That's some extraordinary work by all the hardworking people at DOT, contractors that he's brought in. DEP has told, or I meant DOT, DEP has now told me, Commissioner Martin, that initial test results from Cape May, Atlantic, and Ocean County beaches have all come back indicating the water quality is good. So there is no reason for anyone to fear going into the ocean if they did. And so on a day like this, and we're going to have days like this the rest of the week, according to the weather forecast, if you were planning on a vacation this week, get in your car and go on vacation. The roads are clear to head down to the shore. I am sure that there are businesses down there that are ready, willing, and anxious to accommodate you. And given that some folks may have canceled some of their plans after the hurricane, you'll probably get some pretty good prices on some rooms down there. So get down to the Jersey Shore. The beaches are clean. The water is of great quality. And we have some business people down there who are anxious to have you come down and enjoy the last week and weekend of the summer with your families at the Jersey Shore. So I'm encouraging you to do that. I want to thank the folks here at Passaic County OEM, the OEM director. They've done an extraordinary job here. The sheriff, the freeholders, all these folks in Passaic County have done a great job under very, very difficult circumstances. Also want to thank General Reith and the men and women of the New Jersey National Guard. They are doing a great, great job in coordinating with police, the sheriffs, firefighters, first responders, who are all working extraordinarily well together in a very stressful time for our residents. These folks, National Guards, soldiers, first responders, the police officers, firefighters, sheriff's officers, are providing a sense of safety and security to our residents while they deal with the other problems that they have to deal with in trying to put their lives back together after a catastrophic event like this. And so we are looking forward to continuing our efforts in this regard. We'll have more to say tomorrow. We're hopeful that the President of the United States will sign off on this declaration as quickly as possible. In conversation with him last night, I believe he will. And all the folks here deserve great credit. Last but certainly not least, Charlie McKenna of Department of Homeland Security and his folks have done a great job in coordination with the State Office of Emergency Management under the supervision of Colonel Fuentes and the State Police, and all the troopers in the State Police have really sacrificed a great deal over the course of the last week to be able to rescue folks.